Jamunatira Banachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamunatira Banachari Jamunatira Banachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jami Shiva Paramansa Srimad Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prishika Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Syama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Sri Vrindavan Dan Ki Jai Mayapur Dan Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Maharani Ki Jai Shri Shri Gita Mayapur Sachi Ki Jai Shri Tulsinath Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Giridhari Lal Ki Jai Shri Shinkadev Bhagavan Ki Jai Vakreshwara Pandit Ki Jai Charita Gaura Purnandi All glory to Samla devotees, all glory to Samla devotees, all glory to Samla devotees, all glory to Shri Shri Guru Amaranga, all glory to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Do you want me to read about Prakeshwara Pandit first? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vakreshwara Pandit was an incarnation of Aniruddha, one of the quadruple expansions of Vishnu, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna. And wonderfully for 72 continuous hours. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu played in dramatic performances in the house of Srivas Pandit, Vakreshwara Pandit was one of the chief dancers. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally sang while Vakreshwara Pandit danced, and thus Vakreshwara Pandit fell at the lotus feet of the Lord and spoke as follows: O Chandramukha, please give me 10,000 Gandharvas. Let them sing as I dance, and then I will be greatly happy. Lord Chaitanya replied, I have only one wing like you, but if I had another, certainly I would fly in the sky. Sri Bakreshwara Pan, sorry, by Bakreshwara blessings, Devananda Pandit was free from the Vaishnava aparada committed against Srivas Pandit. Then Sri Chaitanya accepted Devananda Pandit as one of his own devotees. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu commented on this incident. Krishna had made his home in the heart of Bakreshwara Pandit. As Krishna dances in his heart, so Bakreshwara Pandit himself dances. Whatever place Bakreshwara Pandit blesses with his association becomes a holy place of pilgrimage, from sacred, more sacred than all the holy places. Bakreshwara Pandit faithfully served Lord Chaitanya both in Navadvip and in Jagannath Puri. He established the deity of Sri Kanta in Kashi Mishra's house, next to Lord Chaitanya's residence, the Gambira. These deities are still there. You can visit them. These Sri Radhakanta deities of Bakreshwara Pandit. Uh, the incident is just briefly mentioned there, but at one time Lord Chaitanya was performing kirtan and Srivas Pandit was crying. So there was a group of people that took away Srivas Pandit out of the temple room because they said it. And Devananda Pandit was there, who is also an associate of Lord Chaitanya, but he didn't complain. He didn't protest against this big offense. As a result of this, Lord Chaitanya started to ignore Devananda Pandit. And then one time, Devananda Pandit, he went to see Bakreshwara Pandit. And upon seeing the Bakreshwara Pandit, Devananda got completely transformed. As we know, Bakreshwara Pandit is Aniruddha, one of the expansions of the Lord. He used to dance for 72 hours continuously, without break, without eating, without sleeping, without drinking. So when Devananda saw Bakreshwara Pandit, he was so transformed that he went, paid Dandava to Bakreshwara Pandit, and he asked for his blessings. And Bakreshwara Pandit blessed him with Krishna Prema. And Lord Chaitanya said that whoever pleases Bakreshwara Pandit will automatically get Krishna Prema. So it's just, that pastime is just briefly mentioned there. Do we read Prabhupada Lilamrita? So, Bakreshwara Pandit Guru Ki Jai. As they turned off the Delhi Agra road, Srila Prabhupada saw for the first time the stone market, Bhaktivedanta Swami Marg. They soon met up with Gunarnava, who was waiting on a motorcycle and who joyfully speed ahead to tell the devotees at the Krishna Balaram Mandir that Srila Prabhupada was there. At the gate of the temple, a big kirtan party, including all the Gurukuli children, was gathered to greet Prabhupada with chanting and dancing. 4 devotees carried Prabhupada in palanquin to the temple hall, where he offered his respect to the 2 lords, Krishna and Balaram. After the arti ceremony honoring, Srila Prabhupada spoke briefly to the assembly of devotees. If death take place, he said, let it take place here. Seeing his demeanor and hearing him speak these unexpected words, some of the devotees in the room began to cry. So he continued, there is nothing to be said new. Whatever I had to say, I have spoken in my books. Now try to understand it and continue your endeavors. Whether I'm present or not present, it doesn't matter. As Krishna is living eternally, similarly, the living being is also living eternally. Kirti Yasya Sachivati. One who has done service to the Lord lives forever. So you have been taught to serve Krishna. So with Krishna, our life is eternal. The temporary disappearance of this body, it doesn't matter. The body is meant for disappearance. So live forever by serving Krishna. After one day in Vrindavan, Srila Prabhupada wrote, I was staying in Rishikesh hoping to improve my health, but instead I became a little weaker. Now I have come to my home, Vrindavan. If anything should go wrong, at least I will be here in Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 19, Text 10. Almost. All right. Prametat. It's not there. Sorry. Pranamet. Dandabat. Pumau. Bhakti. Pravena. Chetasa. Dasabaram. Japet. Mantram. Tata. Stotram. Utirayet. Pranamitandabat Bhumau. Pranamitandabat Bhumau. Bhakti Pravena Chetasa. Bhakti Pravena Chetasa. Dasavarancha Mantram. Dasavarancha Mantram. Tatra Stotra Nudirayet. Tatra Stotra Mudirayet. Pranamitandabat Pumau. Bhakti Pravena Chetasa. Dasavarancha Mantram. Tattastotra Mudirayet. Pranamitandabat Pumau. Bhakti Pravena Chetasa. Dasavarancha Mantram. Tattastotra Mudirayet. Pranamet. should offer obeisance. Dandavat like a stick, Bhumao on the ground, Bhakti through devotion, Pravena humble, Chetasa with a mind, Dasavaram 10 times, Japet should utter, Mantram the mantra, Tata then, Stotram prayer, Udirayet should chant. One should offer obeisances unto the Lord with a mind humble through devotion, while offering dandavats, but falling on the ground like a rod. One should chant the above mantra 10 times, then one should chant the following prayers. Yuvantu Vishvasya Vibhu Jagatan Karanam Param Yam Hi Prakritin Sukshma Maya Shakti Duratyaya. My Lord Vishnu and Mother Lakshmi, Goddess of the Fortune, you are the proprietors of the entire creation. Indeed, you are the cause of all the creation. Mother Lakshmi is extremely difficult to understand because she is so powerful that the jurisdiction of her power is difficult to overcome. Mother Lakshmi is represented in the material world as the external energy, but actually she is always the internal energy of the Lord. Text 12. Tasya Adishvara Sakta Tattva Eva Purusha Para Sarvajnana Ayegyam Kriyeyam Phala Bhavam. My Lord, you are the master of energy, and therefore you are the supreme person. You are the sacrificed yagya personified. Lakshmi is the embodiment of spiritual activities, is the original form of worship offered unto you, whereas you are the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Text 13. Punavyaktirya Devi Yanchako Punahu Pushpavam Swamhi Sarva Shariryatma Shri Sarirendriya Yasaya Tu Namarupe Bhagavati Prasyata Swam Upashraya. Mother Lakshmi, who is here, is the reservoir of all spiritual qualities, whereas you manifest and enjoy all these qualities. Indeed, you are actually the enjoyer of everything. You live in the super soul of all living entities, and the goddess of fortune is the form of their bodies, senses, and minds. She also has a holy name and form, whereas you are the support of all such names and forms and the cause for their manifestation. Madhvacharya, the Acharya of the Tattva bodies, has described this verse in the following way. Vishnu is described as Yagya personified, and Mother Lakshmi is described as spiritual activities and the original form of worship. In fact, they represent the spiritual activities and the super soul of all Yagya. Lord Vishnu is the super soul even of Lakshmi Devi, but no one can be the super soul of Lord Vishnu, for Lord Vishnu himself is the spiritual super soul of everyone. According to Madhvacharya, there are two tattvas or factors. One is independent and the other is dependent. The first tattva is the Supreme Lord Vishnu, and the second is the Shiva tattva. Lakshmi Devi, being dependent of Lord Vishnu, is sometimes counted amongst the Jivas. The Gaudiya Vaishnava, however, describe Lakshmi Devi in accordance with the following two verses from Prameya Ratnavali of Baladeva Vidyabhushan. The first verse is a quotation from the Vishnu Purana. Nityaiva Jagannate Vishnu Shri Anapayini Yasarvangato Vishnu Tataideyan Jotama Vishnu Sarvashita Adilevi Vahashishan Adumahan. The rest of the Brahmanas is the constant companion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, and therefore she is called Anapayini. She is the mother of the creation. Spiritual potency mother Lakshmi is also called Vishnu, and yes, although some Vaishnava this accession counts the goddess of fortune amongst the overly entities, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in accordance with the statement of the Vishnu Purana, is described Lakshmi with the Vishnu Tattva. Lakshmi is being different from Vishnu are stated when an eternally liberated living entity is imbued with the qualities of Lakshmi. They do not pertain to Mother Lakshmi, the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu. So we'll read the verse again. Pramedandandavat bhumau bhakti pravena chetasa Dasa varam chapem mantram tattastotram udirayat. One should offer obeisances unto the Lord with the mind humble through devotion, while offering dandavat by falling in the ground like a road. One should chant the above mantras 10 times, then one should chant the following prayers. O my Lord Vishnu, Mother Lakshmi, Goddess of Fortune, you are the proprietor of the entire creation. Indeed, you are the cause of the creation. Mother Lakshmi is extremely difficult to understand because she is so powerful that the jurisdiction of her power is difficult to overcome. Mother Lakshmi is represented in the material world as external energy, but actually she is always the internal energy of the Lord. My Lord, you are the master of energy, and therefore you are the supreme person. You are the sacrifice, yajna personified. Lakshmi, the embodiment of spiritual activities, is the original form of worship offered unto you, whereas you are the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Mother Lakshmi, who is here, is the reservoir of all spiritual qualities, whereas you manifest the enjoy of all these qualities. Indeed, you are the actual enjoyer of everything. You live as a super soul of all living entities, and the goddess of fortune is the form of their bodies, senses, and minds. She also has a holy name and form, whereas you are the support of all such names and form and the cause of their manifestation. Chaitanya Manovistam Sapitanya Bhutaya Sayan Rupa Kalamayam Savanti Dvapavantikam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Siya Vaitala Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So with the blessing of all senior devotees here present, I would like to say a few words. First of all, I would like to recap a bit from previous verses. It was emphasized that we should worship Lakshmi Narayan, even if we desire material opulence. And Srila Prabhupada was talking about the false concept of Daridra Narayan that Prana Prabhu was explaining yesterday, that the Lord is not subjected to karma, like rich or poor. The Supreme is supreme all the time. And Srila Prabhupada in a conversation, he said that why Daridra Narayan is only poor? What about the rich? They are not Daridra Narayan. And what Prabhupada said, what about Mugi Narayan? Mugi is chicken. Why only Narayan? Chicken Narayan. No, if we concluded that Narayan can be poor, Narayan can be anything then. Not only just poor. And here we see that the formula is given how we should worship Lakshmi Narayan. And they said that Lakshmi is considered Vishnu Tattva according to some acharyas, but according to other acharyas, Lakshmi is considered Jiva or living entity. And Prabhupada explained why in the purport. And this is especially mentioned in relationship to Madhvacharya. One thing we need to understand that all these acharyas are not ordinary persons, are great, great personalities. We see in the life of Madhvacharya, when he was only 5 years old, he took Diksha, 5 years old. And then when he was 8, he took sannyas. He wanted to take sannyas earlier, but somehow his mother pursued him not to do so. But when he was 8, he said, that's it, I don't want anything else with this material world. So he took sannyas, and he started traveling to different places at that early age. And he's none other than Bayu. He's an incarnation of Bayu. Madhvacharya is an incarnation of Bayu. And he was extremely powerful, physically and mentally. They said that one time he was walking in the jungle with one of his disciples, sannyasis, and the tiger attacked this sannyasi. And Madhvacharya, he wrestled with the tiger and defeated. So he was also mentally very powerful. He was Shrutidara. He could remember. He could read. He was very conversant in all the scriptures, in all the conclusions, and he will remember them all. So he's definitely not an ordinary person, but he had a very particular point of view. Every acharya had a different particular point of view, and they are all truth. We know there are these 4 main sampradayas, and they all present different aspects of the same absolute truth. Sometimes the example is given like these 4 blind men need to describe what the elephant looks like by touching different parts of the elephant. And they all they touch different part and they say, no, he looks like that, or he looks like trunk. The other, he say, no, he looks like a trunk of a tree, like that. But they all are describing the same thing, and they are all true. Just they see ways. I mean, they don't see because they're blind, but they perceive things in a different way. And in the similar way, these acharyas, they see the absolute truth in a different way. And Madhvacharya was very particular because he had one mission in mind only. And he wanted to defeat all the Mayavadis. That was the only purpose in life, to defeat, destroy completely Mayavadi philosophy. And he had 4 important points that they are totally unique for Madhvacharya, for the Tattvavadis. One of them, the first of them, is that to go to Krishna, we need to first to go to Brahmaloka. And from there, until after the end of the annihilation, we can go back to Krishna. This is only Madhvacharya preaches like that, or present that. And the second point, he said that only we can go to Krishna through Varna Ashram. He said that first, you need to be a perfect Shudra. Then you take birth as a Vaishya, and then you need to be a perfect Vaishya. Then you take birth again as a Kshatriya, and then when you become perfect, you take birth again as a Brahmana. And then when you are a perfect Brahmana, you take 100 births as sannyasi, and then you can go back to Krishna. And the other point is that he said that all the devas, all the demigods, are great devotees. And the last point, which is related to the topic today, is that he said that Lakshmi is a jiva, is a living entity. What he wanted to establish very clearly is that there is only Krishna, and Krishna is not cheap. To attain Krishna is very difficult. It's very difficult. And then we have, on the other hand, Ramanujacharya, which is also one of the acharyas of the 4 sampradayas. And his only mission in life was to defeat Shankaracharya statements. So if Shankaracharya was quoting from Bhagavad Gita, Ramanujacharya will go to that verse of Bhagavad Gita and defeat Shankaracharya. If Shankaracharya will speak from another scripture, he will go to that particular scripture and defeat Shankaracharya. So we see that all these acharyas, they have a special mandate given by the Lord, and they never go beyond that mandate. And even though they knew, we know Shankaracharya, he was Shiva himself. Madhvacharya was Vayu. They knew perfectly well about Achintya Veda Veda Tattva, but that was not their mission in life. They have a particular purpose in life, and they always were trying to fulfill without going beyond that mandate that the Lord gave to them. But then we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came and he reconciled all the different concepts of the different sampradayas in a most perfect way, because he is the Supreme Lord. And then all make sense. All the other concepts of the different sampradayas make sense, and everyone is happy with this concept. Because the Lord established that there is a living entity, and there is a super soul, and there is a Supreme Lord, and they are all one and different at the same time, depending on how much energy energy, or how much there is how's the word? Manifestation of this energy in that particular form. And then we have Srila Prabhupada, that he also reconciled of the teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he present the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as it is, and make it easily accessible to the Kali Yuga Chelas. Because in this age, it's very difficult. Nobody can dance 72 hours like Bhakrishvara Pandit, or no one can follow the philosophy presented by Madhvacharya. Will be so frustrating if you get to know that to go to Krishna, you need to go life after life, and then you need to be born 100 times as a sannyasi. It will be so frustrating. Everyone will bloop, basically, and just that's it. I rather become a materialistic of a pious, of just a pious person, than go to all the struggle and all the hardship of becoming a sannyasi for 100 times and then go back to Krishna. But Srila Prabhupada was so merciful that he presents Krishna consciousness in such a way that anyone in Kali Yuga can follow. Anyone. Prabhupada said even a dog can dance. And this is because a particular incident when a dog was following Srila Prabhupada, and the dog was trying to, in his own language, say something. And Prabhupada said, you see, even a dog can chant. That's what we have this statement, famous statement that Prabhupada said, that even a dog can chant and dance. So this is, so one thing which is very prominent, and I see this is the main point I want to make, is that all these acharyas, they were faithful to their mandates. So we also need to be faithful to the mandate of Srila Prabhupada, to the process that Srila Prabhupada established. And in this way, we can be sure that we will attain perfection. We know we need to chant Hare Krishna, we need to associate with devotees, we need to read Prabhupada's books, and by following this simple process, we can attain the same perfection described by others acharyas. So this is our mission in life of every member of ISKCON. Try to fulfill the desire of Srila Prabhupada, try to follow Srila Prabhupada's instruction, and by doing so, we are sure that we will complete this mission in this life, which is to go in this very life back to Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. Is there any question or comment? Corrections?
Thank you very much, Prabhu. I'm just wondering, these acharyas are eternally liberated personalities. As we see in the spiritual world, there can be supposedly conflict as well, people with differing opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps is there any of this conflict from the spiritual world manifest between, the acharyas as they're, describing in their teachings towards us? Perhaps there's some acharyas who are in the spiritual world, in their swarup, they are in different camps, etc. And does this manifest in their teachings at all? Or is this far beyond my head and I should really ask?
You got very good imagination. That's for sure. Well, in the spiritual world, there is no conflicts. There are no conflicts and no debates. as far as we know. At least Srila Prabhupada never said that they were, but Prabhupada said that we will have ISKCON in Goloka Vrindavan. Prabhupada said that. But there is no question of debate, or because this has been there from time immemorial. This so-called contradictions between sampradayas, they've been always been there. Even at one time, Vyasadeva met Shankaracharya, and there were arguments for long time. And then I think was Narada Muni came and he said, there's no point. It's a Vishnu and Shiva arguing. There's no point. There will be no conclusion for this. No one will be defeated. So they had to, they stopped arguing. But this so-called contradiction has been there from time immemorial. And this is all depends on the rasa of the person, or the flavor that the acharya present. One acharya could present more like Aishvarya worship, another more like Raganuga Bhakti. But it doesn't mean that one is wrong and the other one is right. It's just different flavors. Then some people feel attracted to one flavor or the other. But there is no question of conflict in the spiritual world. There is no question of conflicts. Do you agree, Tatvadi Prabhu? Is that? Do you want to add something? Adhoksha Prabhu?
In that story in the Brihad Bhagavatam, Rita, Gopkumar goes
Yeah.
to Vaikuntha, and it's not so much conflict, but he does want a different flavor. But he's told that you'll have to come back to Braj and perform sadhana, and then you can go to Goloka. So I guess that's how they resolve it in the spiritual world.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada explained that like the inhabitants of Vaikuntha, they are happy there. They don't have any conflicts. They don't have any other aspiration, because this is the rasa. This is how they want to relate. They want to serve Krishna in a reverential mood. But if you are in Vaikuntha and you are not, for some reason, you want to go to Goloka Vrindavan, you can do so as well. There is an option. But generally, like inhabitants of Vaikuntha, they are happy. They don't have other aspiration. But the highest position is in Goloka Vrindavan. But other people have other preferences, and that's also fine. That's also because Vaikuntha is also a spiritual world, so it's not a problem.
Yeah, I heard that you can't do sadhana in Vaikuntha, so you have to come to.
You cannot do sadhana.
You can't do sadhana to go to Goloka in Vaikuntha. You have to come down to the Tarawal, to the middle earth, and then you can perform sadhana, and then so you would have to fall down, and then you could go.
Interesting. Anything else? Okay, so we finish here then. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Akrishvara Pandit ki jai, Sanita Gaura Pramanandi Hari. Bol.